20 years, 2 decades, this card sat under a pile of papers. So today's video is going to be a little bit different. If you're watching this and you have ever felt like no one cares about where you are, what you're going through, what you're dealing with, then I pray that you would stick around, because I want to share with you something that God did in my life several years ago that is still to this day difficult for me to explain and even comprehend. I surrendered to the ministry in 2016, and between 2016 and 2018 my life got extremely busy. We were doing so many different things in so many different places until there was a time when the only day that I had free was Monday. My wife and I were just going and going and going. And then all of a sudden, in the midst of that, when everything is going so great, God caused me to stop going, to stop doing so much. And it didn't make sense to me. I was confused, because why would God want me to stop doing the very things that He had called me to do when everything was going so well? So July the 31st, 2018, a group of friends were at the house, and I was sharing with them what I felt like the Lord was speaking to me, that I needed to step down, that I needed to step back from some of the commitments that He had called me to. And the response was overwhelmingly less than ideal. It did not go over very well. I did not get the support that I thought I would. And it was tough. I remember August the 1st, which was the very next day, I was at work, and my wife and I were texting back and forth, and I told her very plainly, large letters, all caps, I feel like nobody cares about what I'm going through. That's literally exactly what I told her. August the 1st, 2018. But boy, did I have no idea what God was doing behind the scenes, man. So that day I got off work, I came home, I did what I always do whenever I got home from work, and I walked and checked the mail. And when I checked the mail, there was a letter. And I looked at the letter kind of curious, because I could tell right away that where my name was written and the address that was written in two different pens. Now, you might say, why did you notice that? That's weird. I worked at the post office, so I just kind of noticed things like that, and I didn't pay any attention to it though. And I opened it, and when I opened it, the front of it said this. It says, "Who cares?" with a question mark. Not a "who cares," but a "who cares?" Now, remember that I had just texted my wife earlier that day and said, I feel like nobody cares. And then there's a letter in my mailbox that says, "Who cares?" And I open it, and it says, God does. Absolutely, positively, and totally. And so do I. I stood in my yard completely dumbfounded at the idea that a letter in the mailbox confirmed to me that my text wasn't true, that God did care, that He did see me right where I was standing. Now, if you think that's crazy, wait till I tell you this. There was writing on the other side of the letter, and here's what it says. So, you're in high school now. It will never be the same. Justin, I believe God has great plans for you, and you'll always be in my prayers. And I'll miss you come August. Then it's signed, "Best wishes." And then underneath it, it says, "Keep your chin up. Now, when I opened it up, a piece of paper fell out. And I'll read the paper to you. It says, Justin, I was cleaning up and out this summer and came across this card. I don't know what the occasion was. And why you never got it. But it brought a smile of remembrance of those days way back. It may not mean a thing in the world to you, but I thought I'd send it anyway. Always remember that God has his hands on you, that his plans are far greater than ours, that he loves you no matter what, and that you have been entrusted with a very important task. Keep in the word, keep trusting, keep focused, and keep humble. Keep allowing God to use you wherever he may send you. All of a sudden, I realized something. That this letter was supposed to be sent to me whenever I went into high school. This letter was written in 1998. But I never got it. Because God knew. God knew that I didn't need it in 1998. I was going to need it August the 1st of 2018. Y'all, for 20 years, 2 decades, this letter, this card, sat under a pile of papers, waiting on the moment when God knew that I was going to need to hear that no matter what kind of lie the devil was telling me, that no matter what kind of lie was in my head about nobody caring, that God did care, and there were still people out there that did care for me and who were praying for me every single day. My message to you today is that there is somebody that cares for you, but above all else, God cares, and his eyes are on you. He sees you right where you are. He knows what you're going through. And while you might not get a letter in the mail today, perhaps you came across this video in the moment when you needed it the most. That's why this is so important. That's why it's so important that I put these videos out there. Because just maybe, there's one person that needs to know today that God cares. And you know what? I do too. And I love you. And I want you to know that God loves you too. I love you guys so much. I'll catch you in the next one.